It appears Hollywood is the name of an evil mafia that will go to any lengths to make money. It seems this evil mafia has found one horrifying means of making money, and that involves landing millions of young people in prisons. That's according to Ice Cube.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons.
Ice Cube has continued to make terrifying accusations regarding Hollywood being a mafia that benefits from putting people in prison. Bill Maher and Ice Cube discussed this sinister plan in the podcast.
The kind of stuff in rap lyrics works as a funnel to get people inspired to do the kind of things that would get them in prison.
That's right. Hollywood executives and record label owners directly benefit from the rise in crime. When the names of owners of some of the biggest media houses in the world are cross-checked with names in the prison privatization, the results are shocking to say the least. Looking at only one name in the private prison industry makes the whole problem obvious. Corrections Corporation of America is one of the leading names in the private prison industry. It benefits the most from having more and more people locked up in prisons. The largest holder in Corrections Corporation of America is Vanguard Group Incorporated. Interestingly enough, Vanguard also holds one of the highest numbers of stakes in the media giants determining America's culture. Vanguard would of course use its influence in one industry to promote the other. The people who own the media are the same people who own private prisons, the exact same people. And using one to promote the other is very lucrative. CCA no longer even tries to hide the fact that they benefit from the unlawful incarceration of people. In fact, in 2012, CCA contacted 48 states and offered to buy their prisons. The stipulation of eligibility for the deal was rather bizarre. An assurance by the agency partner that the agency has sufficient inmate population to maintain a minimum 90% occupancy rate over the term of the contract. Instead of considering it the failure of the state that the prisons are overflowing with inmates, the private prison complex is benefiting and encouraging this arrangement, such as the Ironwood prison.
With more inmates than cells, California packs this prison until bursting.
In order to ensure this 90% occupancy rate, the private prison industry openly joined hands with the entertainment industry. In an anonymous email sent out to various members of the music and publishing industries, an account of a meeting was given where it was determined that hip-hop music would be manipulated to drive up privatized prison profits. The letter read, "The speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement. He explained that the companies we work for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments." The letter explained in detail that these decision makers from the music industry were openly encouraged to promote violence so that the prisons could be filled up. He told us that since our employers had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remained filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by marketing music which promotes criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies. Not just the music industry, but the whole of Hollywood is perpetuating the idea of violence in the youth. Countless movies are made every year that focus on substances and violence, and the reason is simple. The more violence that occurs in the society, the more youngsters will end up in prison. Brave artists like Ice Cube are now stepping forward to bring this evil to light and expose the Hollywood executives and record label owners in the role they play in perpetuating violence and crime. Only by talking about the problem can there be any hope of making changes to the system.